This character is known for doing everything that Nick Fury can do, except she does it backwards and in heels. Find out what's going on as I hereby invite everyone to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So we got a brand new season, and with that we've got brand new cards. And the first one we got up for this week is going to be a Victoria Hand. Victoria Hand is a senior level 8 agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. with years of training. Her strong adherence to rules has benefited her, making her a well-recognized figure within the organization. Known for her direct or dismissive communication style and her intolerance for rule breakers, she expressed worries about Nick Fury and his leadership. And after one too many disagreements with S.H.I.E.L.D. and how they did things, she started a master plan to dismantle it. Victoria Hand used the unethical and corrupt actions happening around her from S.H.I.E.L.D. as leverage to rise in her position. She's assessed that a firm stance was necessary for global safety whenever her actions were questioned. While at the same time she brokered her own personal influence. She had no issue working alongside criminals and even letting them escape until she gained the required power and means to form a powerful superhero team that she called the Dark Avengers. Victoria Hand currently commands a team of several agents and superheroes who conduct simultaneous attacks on her enemies that are concealed in various bases across the globe. Having no need for traitors, she frequently tests the loyalty of her agents by assessing their reactions to orders that seem illogical. If they choose to disobey, they are dismissed. However, if they follow her instructions, she will only reveal at the very last moment that they should stand down. Victoria Hand has a no-nonsense attitude and is rigid. She has respect for rules and protocol. She dislikes nicknames because she feels that they are condescending. She is a minimalist in terms of personnel and desires as few people as possible to do as much as possible on a mission. She feels that any agent is disposable as long as the mission is complete. But even with all she has done and all that has happened, she still possesses an extreme loyalty to S.H.I.E.L.D. and to their core beliefs. Victoria Hand got trained in combat and weapons during her time with S.H.I.E.L.D., along with her having a working knowledge of hand-to-hand combat and all forms of weapons on Earth and any other known planet. She has a brilliant organizational mind and is able to keep track of large amounts of tactical and personal information. She is gifted in mathematics and business administration. She is a skilled public speaker and is especially adept at fielding questions from the press. Victoria Hand was the previous second-in-command agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. who gained the required powers and means to form a powerful superhero team that she called the Dark Avengers. This is represented in Marvel Snaps as if she's out on your side. She'll use her skills to make anyone who joins your team more powerful. So in Marvel Snap, what she does is she is a 2-cost 3 power with the description of ongoing. Your cards that were created in your hand have +2 power. Now that's before she comes out, while she's out, and after she's out. So, as long as she's on your board, it counts. Now, if you kill her or destroy her or silence her, then that goes away. But as long as she's out, it doesn't matter if it happens before she's out, the turn that she comes out, or after turns that she comes out. Now, all in all, I figure that she is about a 3-star rating. And let me explain why I came up with this. So first of all, we've got to talk about the fact that aging cards are really hard cards to play. So, any card that is an aging card, I'm just going to call these aging cards. This is Maria Hill, this is Agent Coulson, this is Nick Fury. Always have the issue that the card that you use to make the agents, per se, don't get the power off of Victoria Hand. And you kind of got to balance your deck between how many cards are going to be generators and how many cards are going to be generated that you're going to play off the generation. Also, one of the problems with cards from things like Maria Hill, from Agent Coulson, from Nick Fury, from any of these aging cards is normally, unless you really know what's going on, you don't know what you're getting off of these cards. So even with the +2 power that you might get off of them, if it's a bad card, that +2 power is not going to help you out in any way, shape, or form. Now, there are some cards that work well with her. But first of all, we've got to discuss the two elephants in the room. The main reason she was written, why she was written, was to make sure that Loki didn't work with her and Thanos didn't work with her. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if at somewhere, at some time, at some shape, there are other cards that get the same text added to them, one of which being the actual Snow Guard because of how powerful she is. But it kind of is weird because it kind of makes me have to sit there and understand, like, what cards do and don't work with her. Like, we know that the Birdlings don't work off a bird because they're generated by a bird. And we know that cards from, like, Agent Coulson work. But do cards from Moongirl work? Because it doesn't say add to your hand, it just says duplicate your hand. And do cards from Mirage work? Now, here's the most interesting thing. You can basically balance what you're getting off of this and make a deck that basically doesn't have a single quote-unquote agent card on it by using stuff like Hood and Snow Guard. And even the Kate Bishop that's currently in the Spotlight Caches. Now, it does bring up some questions of how good does this make a Sentinel? Because there is a whole deck basically based around the fact that on turn 2 you play the Sentinel. And then every other turn you play down a Sentinel. And then at the very last turn, on turn 6, you play down a Sentinel, and because this is also a 2/3, you play her down, so there's absolutely no way to interact with her at that point. And all your Sentinels basically get +2 power. And there's even a theory that you run a Cerebro with that you make them up to 7s. Now, is that worth playing? Who knows? The other thing that I kind of want to be looking into and want to be interested in, because a lot of these cards I don't look at before I actually do videos on them. I don't have a chance to really test them out because I try to open them up on stream. Is how it works on cards that are given to you. Like the Widow's Bite. Now, I know Widow's Bite isn't the best example, but if you get Widow's Bite and you put it down on your field, then you're not allowed, or you can't get rid of it per se. Or you do play this down, because this is the one that stays. Is your Widow's Bite now going to be a positive one? That's one of those things that I kind of want to look into and want to look at. So other than the fact that this needs better wording, maybe between herself, maybe between, like, the cards that actually would help her out. Or some of these cards need, like, little symbols on them that says, like, works with this card or work with this interaction. Like, add to hand or something like that. Or this would say, like, really in, like, text down here. Like, add to hand is the ability, so you know that Mirage works. I do worry that there is a chance that a few people will lose games until they can figure out which cards work with her and which cards don't. Other than her for this week, we actually have a pretty good week for the cache. We have Grandmaster. Now, while Grandmaster isn't the end-all be-all card, there are starting to become enough cards that Grandmaster matters. The other card that we have in here is Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, or I should say Kate Bishop Hawkeye. And she is incredibly good just in general. Your favorite thing to get off of her is the Acid Arrow. And if you do get Victoria Hand and you already own Kate Bishop for whatever reason, every other arrow works well with her. And maybe even the Acid Arrow works with her because it goes on your opponent's side and how it's written. I'm not sure if that would work or not. Because theoretically, it was still a card that was created in your hand. So do be careful about some of those interactions. And maybe test it out a few times. Test out a few of these combinations before you really take it into a combination, into a tournament. Alright, let's roll and see what we get for this week. Box 6. Grandmaster. Okay, I've already done a Grandmaster at some point in the world. I'll try to think of something interesting and cool to do for this Friday, I should say. If you want to see me do it, I'll do this on Twitch TV. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for